Hey folks, I'm Mike. Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/Inkdependence. It keeps this blog ad-free. Hello folks, and welcome to Inkdependence.com. Today we are looking at another paper. So I'm really into paper right now, apparently, and so I'm gonna do a bunch of paper reviews. And I'm on a jag, so we're gonna get a bunch of these in a row, probably. This is the Maruman, as you can see down here, Mnemosyne, as you see right here, and it says 196 here. Now I got this from JetPens.com a while ago because every time I go to JetPens, I gotta hit that $25 free shipping thing, and so I find something to throw in there. Usually it's a notepad of some kind, and so I have a lot of these Maruman notepads right now because they tend to fit that bill for me. So this is a B6 sort of size, which is a little bit on the smallish side. Here is a, well, this is actually a Baron Fig, what do they call these things, Vanguards or something? Yeah, this is the Baron Fig Vanguard pocket notebook. So it's a little bit bigger than your average pocket notebook. This B6 size, it's kind of an odd size, but I like it a lot. It's got a 7mm ruling, and I did get this in ruled, or lined, I suppose I should say. And this is apparently the special Memo Notepad B6 7mm rule, and it's the N196A if you want to try and find that. It's got the little model number down here, but the naming conventions of these are a little bit wonky, I think, but that's the way it goes. This is a black plastic cover. It's pretty thick, as you can hear me flipping it there. You have this yellow card on the inside, which is nice and bright. It makes good contrast with this black. I like this yellow, black, and white color scheme they got going on here. The back of it is a very thick cardboardy type critter. You can see they're quite thick. And then we have double ring bindings up at the top, which are very nice and sturdy. They seem to like maintain their shape well, even though you just throw this in your bag or whatever. I haven't had these get crushed or crimped over. You can see they're still pretty even, which is nice. On the inside, you have this very nice ivory paper. It's not quite white, but it is a nice ivory. And let's zoom in a little bit because you want to see the rule on this guy. So there, you should be able to see that rule. And what you have here is at the very top, this date and number bit right here, which is kind of fun if you're making like meeting notes or something of that nature. This gives you an easy way to take that. You also so you have this nice title bar, and then you have in the middle, it's basically dots. Like the lines on here, the rules are actually tiny little gray dots, which is very nice. And then like every 7 or so, you have a solid line, which breaks it up nicely, I think, into sections. And as you can see, when I did the written bit here, I used the sections to sort of give me different sections of things. So anyway, this is the official Maruman Mnemosyne 196 review. This is fountain pen friendly paper. It is 80 grams per square meter. It is ivory, not quite white. It has 50 sheets. These sheets are 5.1 by 7.4 inches, so B6, and you got this dual ring binding I was just talking about. And here's the other cool thing, is these are all perfed, so you don't just have to tear it out. It's got very, very small perforations up here at the top. I'm not even sure if you can see them on the camera. They aren't readily apparent to me, but they are there, and they do tear out very nicely and cleanly and easily, which is a big thing for me. I hate it when I can't just tear out a page. That really bugs me. And these are $7 on JetPens right now. Now, there are quite a lot of Maruman products on there, especially in this Mnemosyne line. They're all great, and I encourage you to give them all a try, but this is the one we're looking at today. As far as how inks work on here, as you can see, these are all fountain pen inks. And when I turn to the back of the page, you'll see like a little bit of show through from one of them, but these all worked really, really well. Now, there is one place where this did feather, and that's right here on this F. This is KWZ Hawaii Blue, and it didn't feather the rest of the time, so I think maybe that's just like a bit of like hand oil or something. I must have been like just resting a finger there while I did the rest, because I did this part last. So I'm thinking it's just some hand oil that fouled the paper there a little bit, because the rest of it looks just fine. It looks pretty clean to me. So on the back, here's the back of that sheet. You can see here, this line, you get a little bit of show through, but it doesn't quite bleed. Like it comes close to bleeding, but doesn't quite. And that ink is, this is, yeah, not shocking, I suppose, to me, which is Iroshizuku Chiku Ren. I'm just not a huge fan of these Iroshizuku inks. I keep trying them because I keep trying to want to like them, but man, they like bleed, feather, and spread way more than their compatriots in the Robert Oster line and that kind of stuff. So I've been going to compare these 3 inks, this Chiku Ren, Green Lime, and Sublime, because one of these I like better than the other 2 by a good stretch, and some people asked me which of these is the best. I will tell you which one that is in an upcoming review. Here are the ones that are probably not going to bleed through. I don't know, did any of them? No, not even close. So here I have 2 pencils because you got to have a pencil. B and HB. This actually took the pencil very well. I'm not used to writing with pencils, and so I find the writing experience kind of weird with a pencil, but I think it felt pretty good on this paper. This paper is fairly thick. It's the same weight as a Rhodia paper, but it's not as coated, and so it has faster dry times, and it does take pencil very well, unlike Rhodia, which is kind of so-so with pencil, I think. This is the Pentel Energel. Actually, let me get these pens that I used. I actually kind of kept all of them here. And these are the pencils and stuff that I used in this review, and pens. So there's let me zoom out. There you go. That's what I used for this one review. Yeah, quite a few, I guess, huh? All right, let me clear these away. So we got 2 pencils here. Those are the Franklin Christoph ones, the B and the HB. Next, we've got the Pentel Energel 1.0, which is this one. And I really like this Pentel Energel. It's a very soft, smooth writer, and it worked very, very well on here. This is the Papermate Liquid Flare, which is one that I used to use all the time. I used these all the time in grade school, and I love these, but they're getting kind of hard to find. This isn't actually the original one I used in grade school. It was called something else, but I can't remember what. But anyway, this is a good one. And it's a liquid ink, and it's usually fairly wet, and no problem with that going through either. Didn't even really show through. The Pilot V Razor is one of my very current, it's been one of my favorites for years and years, these Pilot V Razors. They are a direct ink porous point pen, and so they put out a lot of wet ink. Then I've got the Pilot Juice Blue Black. I know a lot of people like Pilot Juices. The 1.0s, though, are not really working for me. They seem to skip a lot. As you can see here, I keep getting skipping from these guys. It evened out a little bit, but I don't know. These things skip, and I'm just not a giant fan of them. This is the Zebra Sarasa Clip. These are, I think, very, very good pens. I like these a lot. They got this clip thing here. And this is a 0.4 in orange, and it comes out very nicely on here. This paper is nice and smooth. There's not really a texture to it, and so this 0.4 point worked very well here, which was really nice. I'm glad it did. Another one that works great all the time is this one. This is a Papermate Ink Joy. This is the 0.7 version. I didn't get the smaller 0.38 or whatever because I just don't like writing that small, so I like the 0.7s. That worked perfectly here. This one was actually a surprise to me, which is the Zebra Sorari, which is this one. This is one of those... crud. I'm blanking on what's supposed to... this is an emulsion ink of some kind, and that means it's supposed to be permanent and all that jazz, but I've had a bad time writing with this. It doesn't work all that great on a lot of papers. It works really, really well on this one. I mean, that came out nice and clean. It felt smooth. It was really good. So if you have a bunch of Zero Sorari and you don't like them, try it on Mnemosyne because it worked out really well. And then lastly, Pigment Micron. Everybody's seen these things. These are ubiquitous in art supply stores and that sort of thing for, drafting and all that kind of jazz. So they got a bit of an odd tip to them, so I decided to give it a shot too. Anyway, so everything works well on this paper. I've got no problems with these Maruman Mnemosynes rather. It's one of my very favorites, and that's why it keeps getting in my bag. Let's go ahead and compare it to some other papers in terms of whiteness and this sort of jazz. All right, so there is the Maruman. Here is the Fabriano we looked at yesterday with its ivory paper. It's a little bit whiter, I think, than the Maruman because this is meant to be white, I believe. So a little bit whiter. And then here is the Nocco Dot Dash Pad. There we go, which is a nice white. You can definitely see the ivory in the Mnemosyne as compared to the white of the Nocco, which is cool. What else do we have here? We've got Life. This is the Cap and Note by Life. And this is a very obviously amber paper when you put it there. And then I got a bunch of questions about this yesterday, which is like, hey, how does it compare to Franklin Christoph? So this is a Franklin Christoph Firmaflex book. And let's go ahead and show you this. The interesting thing about Firmaflex is this is sugarcane paper, and it's also got a bit of a maroon tinge to it, which is cool, but it means I don't use it for ink reviews or whatever. But you can definitely tell the difference between the slightly white maroon bit here and the ivory of that paper. And then Rhodia. This is that same reverse book that I used yesterday, and there I go with the blinding white of the Rhodia and the ivory of the Maruman. So, one more. I've got this Hippo Noto sitting here. I might as well show that as well. So this is the Hippo Noto, which is also an ivory. And it's very, very close in tone. It's a little bit brighter, I think, than this, but works very nicely. So There you go. Okay, so that has been the Maruman Mnemosyne 196A. This is a great little notebook, and I definitely think you'll ought to check it out. Let me know what you thought about this review in the comments below. Let me know if there's something I'm missing or that you'd like to see next, because I have a whole bunch of notebooks here, and I'm on a notebook kick. So give me your thoughts, your wants, your druthers, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out. Which are real nice. These double... oh, what the heck do you call these things? Double ring binding. That's it. All right.